welcome to TheNeckbeardNation. We're the Neckbeard Bros, Buck and Matt. TheNeckbeardNation is an atheist-centric show where we talk about life, the universe, and everything. I got my goblet of pop, Matt's got his hat of the day, and it's time to commence with the light banter, starting with our introductions. Matt?
So, my name's Matt, obviously, as he said, and I've been an atheist for about 5 years. Definitely questioning and exploring for many years before that. If I really go by the hard definition, then I've been an atheist for longer, but that's the way I'm going to put it. And my journey to out atheism was centered around me getting married to my wife, Jennifer, and kind of doing some soul searching before our marriage because I wanted to be true to myself and know who I was before I locked into a potential lifetime partnership with somebody. If I didn't know who I was, how could I let her know who I was and what she was getting into? So I did a lot of soul searching and figured out I don't believe, and I was kind of scared to tell her, and when I told her, she was like, yeah, neither do I. And I'm like, oh, okay, awesome. Great. So then we just moved on from there, and it worked out really good. And I recently, within the past couple of years, I formed an atheist group in our area called the Cape Cod Atheists, and that's how I met Buck. And the rest is pretty much history, and here we are now.
Yes. So I'm Buck. I just moved here to Cape Cod in January, lifelong Clevelander before that. And I've been an atheist ever since I could remember. Maybe when I was really little, I believed in something, the stupid ages of life. But as long as I've been a person, I've been an atheist. And I didn't really associate, though, with any sort of movement until college. When I was about 20, I took a sociology class, and learning more about how the world works led me to see the importance of my atheism and how it fits into a grander scale, into society. So it was at that point I decided to pursue atheist pathways, and with the advent of YouTube and getting to watch all sorts of atheists around, it's been really exciting seeing the new atheist movement spring up around us. So that's my story as Matt goes over to take care of something on the computer / a dog. There are 2 dogs here as well. They are his dogs. This is his house. Want to introduce the dogs?
They'll come and go. Yeah, I forgot to turn off my computer, so get rid of some of the noise.
All right. Hopefully you heard all that then.
Yeah.
So, let's on to the next item on the agenda, sir.
Let's see. That went by pretty quick, so I just wanted to ask you, you said you were almost a lifelong atheist.
Right.
Were your parents atheists?
Or the parents. The
what?
parents are sort of. I know Dad definitely is an atheist.
Okay.
And Mom told me she's an atheist, but I don't know if she knows what that means.
Okay, so you never really went to church or anything, I guess.
Well, it would have been. We did go to Sunday school growing up, but I think that was just because everyone else did, and they just wanted to fit in.
Oh, okay.
But it would have been synagogue in our family.
And what is I'm not familiar with what that is.
Oh yeah, we were Jewish.
Oh, it's Jewish. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm from a Ashkenazi background.
Really, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So, do you identify as a Jewish atheist, or?
Yeah, because culturally Jewish in our country really just means of the Ashkenazi culture.
That's cool.
And it just means you eat matzo balls and gefilte fish, and I love that
it's
stuff.
Like, man, it's like amazing. I hear of so many Jewish atheists. It's like, even over there, I guess, it's like,
yeah.
I think I read recently there was a polling on how many people are atheists over there.
Yeah.
And it's become a really popular term lately,
over there
Jewish
being
atheists.
Israel.
Israel, yeah. But it's become a really popular term.
Yeah, no,
because
I think it's because in the Jewish culture there's a tradition of questioning.
Yeah.
And with the advent of scientific methods of knowing about the universe, that questioning is going to lead to more and more atheism in the Jewish community. Yeah. And certainly it's been seen as people become less and less religious in the community. Like, used to be everyone was Orthodox, and now there's more and more conservative and reformed going down the line.
Yeah. I don't know a lot about the Jewish faith, and I'm probably wrong on what I do know, but the things I do know a couple of tidbits that I think are pretty cool about it. Like,
cool.
From what I've heard, and correct me if I'm wrong at any point, but right. I heard that they don't put a lot of stock into the afterlife.
No,
that
not at all.
They kind of either don't, they say we don't know, so don't even think about it, or sometimes they say that there isn't one, or I don't really know. Could you clear that up at all?
Yeah. Some of the more strongly Jewish people have a concept of heaven being a separate thing, but generally speaking, in Judaism, I tend to find that people just believe in sort of a spirit realm.
Nothing so it's just loosely defined.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool because to think about how, like, when I think about the Old Testament, I think of fire, brimstone, not you know what I mean, but like a really strict God and death and fighting, but all this stuff in the name of not really knowing what it's all for in the end. You know? I don't know. It's just a weird thing that I've not being part of the religion. I think it's just hard for me to wrap my head around it and understand it, but I think it seems like it is kind of...
Yeah, that's an interesting juxtaposition you pose there, because, the Old Testament is Sarge, and the New Testament is more, light, and yet the religions that came out of it, you have Jewish religion, which is, somewhat progressive for a religion, and then you have Christianity, which is more often hardline, I find.
Yeah. It's so weird, too, because like, all the stuff that was done in the name of Christianity, but yet Christ is supposed to be this all-forgiving, all-loving...
Yeah.
And it's like, wait, so what were all the wars and torturing and, like, I don't know.
It's in the name of the guy who said never to fight anybody, let's kill them all.
But at the same time, he said, I don't come to unite, I come to divide, and I come with a sword or something like that. And it's like talking about pitting, like, brother against father and stuff. I don't know the exact verse, but you know what I mean? It's like, and then he, like, a lot of people say, like, oh, he was just all about good, and then there's the times when he, like, attacked the money changers and like I don't know. It's just all nitpicking. But anyways, but I want to stick to the Jewish thing because that's pretty cool that I didn't realize that about you. So another
I don't look really Jewy.
And another what was I going to go into? So another cool thing about Jewish faith. Yeah, I kind of lost my place. Well, okay.
First show.
No, I got it now. I'm back on. So I was going somewhere with that. So leading into the juxtaposition of not really knowing about the afterlife and all the atrocities that the spiteful God like whatever that he did or whatever. And then I heard that the Jewish faith doesn't believe in a devil. And I've heard the saying that a lot of Jewish people say, why would you need a devil when God is capable of evil acts? Basically, yes. It's more than capable of doing evil acts.
Not even basically. He does tons of them.
I'm not phrasing it right, but when I first heard it, it was, basically he's evil enough. Not evil, but he's totally capable of carrying out these evil deeds.
Yeah.
Or however you want to say it, that a devil is not even needed. And it's cool that they're so true about that statement that they don't try to hide it. They don't try to make excuses for it. They say, yes, God does bad things, and you know, I feel like
the Old Testament is better read in a religion where you don't try to paint God as perfect.
Yeah. I really have a lot of respect for the Jewish faith because of that. Because you know, and then the funniest thing is they're so straightforward about that things and don't try to hide it. Mm-hmm. But then juxtaposed with that is the fact that they're always trying to trick God by like on the Sabbath day where they can't work.
Yeah.
Like they have ovens that turn on. They have to set it the day before and put the food in the day before.
It's like the idea, like, I believe that there's this omnipresent, omnipotent being, and I can trick him.
Yeah. It's so great, but it's like, in one way they're so honest, but then in the other way they're trying to be deceitful to the God. Like, I don't know. It's just so...
Yeah.
I love all the little quirks of it. It's so much more interesting, I think, than actual Christianity, which is like just this big, like, parlor trick or something, you know? It's like...
Well, I mean, it starts, you know, in Genesis when Adam and Eve are actually able to hide from God.
Oh, yeah.
God's like, where are you? Like, how do you not know?
There's so much. Believe me, like, I've never read through the Bible, and a lot of religious people might think that's why I'm an atheist, but I have read the Bible, some of it, and every time I read if I skip to a point in the Bible and start reading, I run into like 10 like crazy things and like within the course of like 15 minutes, and like even starting from the beginning, I don't know, it's just
and it's just, you know, anytime I bring up the Bible with the family, them being atheist, it's always just, man, is that stupid. Like, it's not even a good book. Like, if it would be one thing if it were even just a decent piece of literature, but it's hard to read even. It's nonsense.
Well, that could be from translation, but you know, you would think even the guy who translated would say, all right, let me sex this up a little bit, and like, you know,
and the other part's like, oh yeah, I've already mentioned that earlier, I can take this out. Or stuff like that. Or that totally contradicts what I just said.
Speaking of, I don't think a lot of people realize that the Bible was edited.
Yes.
Through the years. Like, I don't know the exact...
Well, Council of Nicaea is the big one.
That's what I'm saying. Is I don't know exactly how it happened. I just know it did happen, and that it does sort of... I think it still kind of happens nowadays. Like, they have to decide if they're going to put something in. Or, like, you know, the Catholics are always changing the rules on, like, purgatory.
Well, Catholicism is a whole giant sphere of craziness with all sorts of weird stuff in it. So, what they believe is bizarre with all the papal stuff that they have.
Oh,
yeah. I
saw a hilarious picture on... It was probably like a meme thing. It said, like, religion, an excuse for old men to wear funny hats, and he showed all these religions with like 4 different religions with these old guys with funny hats, like Jewish, the Pope, and then like a Hindu or something.
Cool.
It was funny.
I have to make should have an atheist hat.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Well, they got the flying spaghetti monster.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that's one hat I could wear one of these times.
Yes. Folks, he will have a different hat every time.
I'm going to try.
If you have suggestions for a hat, please leave them down below in the comments. we will try to take suggestions from that.
I think it'll be fun.
Yes.
One, I'm kind of taking over here, but I got one more thing. Is I think it's really weird, since we're talking about Judaism and Christian, and then I'm going to tie in Islam, or
sure.
I'm not exactly sure the correct term, but anyways.
Islam.
They're all the Abrahamic religion.
Yes.
And I think it's really weird, the disconnect that basically Christians are now trying to form the Judeo-Christian kind of thing because they want a partner in the fight and they want to back up. They basically want Jerusalem to be reinforced, or Israel to be reinforced to bring on the end of the world.
Right.
But that's really their goal. But it doesn't hurt them to have an ally in this. So they're okay to team up with the Jewish people, but they're still kind of against the Muslims. And, like, they don't realize that they're all basically worshiping the same God. Like, even the Muslims believe Jesus was a prophet.
Right.
They don't deny that he existed, and they believe that, I guess, the end times are brought about when Jesus returns as well.
Sure.
So they all believe in the same books, all the same people.
Yeah, well, Jews with Jesus, not so much.
Yeah. No, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Well, no, now there's Jews for Jesus. And
that's so weird.
It's just so convoluted, the alliances that are formed and the reasoning why and the disconnects and the...
Yeah,
but they're all the Abrahamic religions, and people don't realize it, you know?
Yeah, I think a lot of this is part of American culture. The Jewish population in America really started shooting up at the immigrant rush of the turn of the 20th century. And at that time, it certainly wouldn't have gone with Jewish traditions and customs and mixed it with theirs. Because... Jews were seen as the aliens coming in, and Americans didn't want the Jews in the country. But now, with these relatively new concepts of bringing about the apocalypse by having Jews in Israel, and all of this that's come about, you're able to couch very Christian sentiments as being Judeo-Christian. It's a good way to sort of hide the impetus for what they're trying to do with that. And, by putting Judeo first, they're like, oh, they're being, inclusive of all of the people of America. No, they're just throwing that in there because that makes it seem like they're not trying to be a theocracy, which they are. Yeah.
So what I wonder is the Jewish outlook on them co-opting them like that. Like,
we're pissed
because I've never heard the Jewish people even use that term, but I don't know. That's why I'm kind of asking you because I don't know a lot about
it. Like religious Jewish people, like really, really religious Jewish people are happy about it. Those are the ones who are doing things, are like the settlers in the West Bank. Things like that. The really crazy religious ones. Most Jews do not want to be associated with any of that.
That's no, we're friends. That's it.
Yeah, it's really too bad on that end. And the only reason they don't include Muslims is because Muslims haven't really been included as part of the American culture right now, because they're relatively new in large numbers to the country. But once that becomes normalized, they'll have them join in too, and they're like, we're a Judeo-Christian Islamo country, and we were founded with these values. Meanwhile, nobody in signings like, I wonder what Jewish values I could put into this Constitution here, and the Christianity of the people making that document is
highly
suspect.
questionable.
Anyways.
I'll give you that they were deists, but that's about as far as I would go.
Right, and certainly at the time it would have been more difficult to be atheist.
Yeah.
Just with the lack of scientific advancement.
Well, also, you wouldn't want anybody to know you were atheist.
Yeah.
I think it even was a different term. It had a different meaning back then.
Right.
The term atheist. I mean, it's changed.
Yeah, no, they would call Muslims atheists because they didn't believe in their
anybody
God.
who didn't believe in their God.
Yeah.
And it started with, I believe, the Roman gods. They would call Christians atheists because they didn't believe in the Roman gods. So I mean, it's changed. The term has meant different things throughout history.
And it really just started with the Muslims, understanding the God as the same one for the three different religions when they started calling them people of the book. And they would include Jewish and Christian people as having the same God.
Muslims would do that?
Yes, yeah.
Really?
Yes.
Huh. That's... Yeah, at least they get it,
Well, it's just a different culture.
Yeah.
So, but I'm sure it has to do with whatever's going on in 7th century Arabia.
Yeah.
Not a subject I'm, an expert on.
Oh, no, me either. Was that like the time of the Crusades, or no? That was a little earlier, right? That was
later.
Oh, later?
Crusades.
7th century?
Yes, the Crusades were, and this is a great thing to put, permanently into a video. My
sure
general
we'll
guess about when the
but...
Crusades are. But I think those are the late 11th century.
Oh, okay.
So I'm sure, again...
Yeah.
Correct.
But anyways, the reason why I mention it is because one of my favorite movies is called Kingdom of Heaven.
Okay.
Did you ever see it?
No.
Oh, and it's about the Crusades and Christians versus Muslims and
sure.
That I guess you can't even really call them Christians because that term didn't really exist back then. But that's a whole nother.
Yeah, there's a weird linguistic history with all this stuff. So. That's been Neckbeard Nation for today. I'm Buck. This is Matt. Leave comments down below. Let us know how we did. And until next time, be cool.
Thanks, guys.